Hello there, people of the internet. Today I'm running a little experiment, and I figured I'd go ahead and test these out since I wanted to test these out. So I have me my 44 Magnum lever action. This right here is a nice strong action. 1894 action or 1886. They're the same action. One is just a little more scaled up than the other. But a nice strong action, and I have me some 44 special rounds that I have reloaded. Now I want to take notes. YouTube, I'm not showing how to manufacture ammunition here. Take note on how I'm not doing any of that. But I have some 44 special rounds. This stuff right here is, actual factory. This is Cowboy Load 44 special. This stuff is the factory rounds. And this stuff is what I have been using, but I got a bunch of 160 grain cast lead projectiles that I decided to go ahead and load up inside of these cartridges. These right here are semi-wad cutters, 160 grain, and what I wanted to test out was using these with tight group. Now, tight group will run 44 special pretty dang easily, but with this being a 44 Magnum lever action rifle, I wanted to see if I could run them a little bit hotter. They're not going to be as powerful, as potent as 44 Magnum. Tight group burns very, very, very rapidly, and it just reaches its peak way too fast to be able to accelerate a bullet effectively. So you're not going to achieve the velocities that a 44 Magnum would normally be able to get. However, I decided to go ahead and circumvent that by using smaller projectiles. Typically, your 44 Magnum is going to be around a 220 to 250 grain bullet. Well, with these being a 160 grain bullet, I'm curious to see what kind of velocities we're going to get out of this. Now, I chose tight group because I have a lot of it. I use it for a dramatic amount of different things. But yeah, I wanted to see if I could get some decent velocities using tight group. I'm not using a ridiculous amount of tight group. Like, I'm not gonna risk anything. I'm actually below the maximum for 44 Magnum. These are 44 special shells, so I'm not sure if there's a issue with like the thickness of the shell. I know that there's somewhat of an issue with the thickness of the shell when you are talking 357 Magnum to 38 special, and I have had issues running 38 special at higher pressures with having issues with the case rupturing just because the cases aren't designed to do that. I don't know if 44 special is going to be the same way. We're going to find out. But this is a 160 grain projectile with 8 grains of tight group behind it. A normal 44 grain projectile would be more around the realm of 220 to 240 grains, and you would want to use probably about 4.5, maybe 4 grains of a tight group depending on your weight of projectile. Well, I wanted to load these up hotter. For your 44 Magnum, your max charge for a 240 grain bullet would be 10 grains of tight group, and since these are lighter weight bullets, we could get away with using slightly more. However, these are 44 special shells, so I actually used slightly less. So 8 grains of tight group with a 160 grain projectile from these shells right here. I do have 44 Magnum shells. I just wanted to see how hot I could get these 44 special rounds. Now, don't fire these in 44 special, but they'll run fine from a 44 Magnum. Now, that being said, I actually do not own a Crip die for 44 special 44 Magnum. I ordered one, it's on the way. I just don't have one yet. So I'm not going to load these into the tubular magazine in this thing, just because I don't want, the projectile to push itself into the brass case. I'm just going to load direct into the chamber, just like that. So now I'm just going to kind of put a round downrange. I'm going to go ahead and keep my face away from this, just in case it does decide to detonate. And I'm going to put a round into the dirt, and we're going to see what the hole in the ground looks like. All right, well, it fired no problem, and it felt a little bit more spicy than a 44 special round. Not by much, definitely not a 44 Magnum, but definitely had more power than 44 special. I'm not noticing any weird primer deformations or any weird anything like that. So I think that this is going to be fine. Let's do an accuracy test. I'm going to aim at our steel down there, and let's see if we can manage to hit it. Some of these rounds are a little on the marred up side. They're just older, cast lead bullets, and they were in a box kind of bouncing around for years and years and years. So the accuracy on these probably won't be all that great, but it'll be fine for range plinking. All right. I have no idea where that one went. Let me send another round downrange. Again, no idea where that one went. I'm not sure if we're hitting high or low. I don't see any crap moving, so I'm assuming that we're hitting high. Let me go ahead and aim for the bottom of the steel, and we'll see if we hit it. There we go. We hit the steel that time. All right, so this does hit a little bit higher than the heavier projectiles that I'm used to using. All right, you, come on, get out of there. There we go. These do hit a little higher than the heavier projectiles that I'm used to using, so that does make sense. So, honestly, I'll probably adjust my sights to match these right here as opposed to the other projectiles, because I have a lot of these and not a lot of the other ones. All right, yeah. Okay, so we are hitting probably about a foot high at this 50 yards. Send another, because why not? Okay, all right, I have confirmed the 0. So these right here, like I said, hitting about a foot high. They seem to be firing reliably. I'm not noticing any issues with the brass or the primer or anything like that. So yeah, these do look pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead, what I'm gonna do now, I wanna see how powerful they are. I got me a jug of water right here. Let's go ahead and put up a jug of water downrange and see what it says. I am expecting this to not be as powerful as a 44 Magnum, but it should be more powerful than the 44 Special that we see. All right, let's go ahead and send that jug of water right to hell. All right, yeah, that was pretty potent. Not, like I said, not 44 Magnum powerful, but definitely more potent than 44 Special. Okay, well, that was pretty much all the information that I needed. Oh, I got a text message. Classic Firearms. Hell yeah. I got me some promotional codes. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time here. I just wanted to come out and test this ammunition to see how viable it was, how powerful it was, how accurate it was. I gotta play around with my sights to get it, hitting where it is that I'm wanting it to hit. Right now, I'm zeroed out for this stuff. This is just actual 44 Special. This is the heavier grain projectiles with a proper loading, and this stuff is just what the rifle is zeroed to. So I'm just going to aim at our steel, pull the trigger, and we should hit it. Yeah, that hit the steel no problem, as opposed to these ones right here, which seem to hit about a foot high. Go ahead and load us up another round of this, because hey, I have a bunch of these. May as well send some downrange. Yeah, that one hit about a foot high. I actually missed the steel. Go ahead and pull my ring off here. Send another, see if I can actually hit the steel this time. There we go, that got it. But yeah, depending on what ammunition you're using, it's gonna change the zero of your rifle. So the accuracy of this, I mean, I'm hitting my steel. It hits high with these sights, I'll have to readjust. But I am hitting my steel at the 50 yards that we're at, and it definitely seems powerful. Not as powerful as 44 Magnum, but definitely more powerful than 44 Special. I might make some of these up with 10 grains of powder, and I might even go with 11 grains because it is a lighter weight bullet, and just, to see how fast I could get that bastard moving. But I'll need to like slowly advance my way, and you want to pay attention to primers and bulging, and you make sure that you're not risking any sort of overpressure with the firearm. So you want to play it safe whenever you're loading this stuff. But besides that, I mean, this 8 grains, that is freaking more than powerful enough to completely decimate a water jug. I wouldn't feel bad about taking this for like small to medium game hunting either. Obviously I'd have to adjust my sights, but whenever I do that, it definitely has the oomph behind it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share, description below, link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'm probably gonna work on fine-tuning these sights, and I guess I will see you guys in the next episode. I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.